If I asked you to start listing Gary's mod game modes, what would you say? TTT? Dark RP? Murda? How long would it be until you named something that looks like this, or something that looks like this? Believe it or not, before the age of anime big boobs Five Nights at Freddy's, people used to actually use the Gary's Mod server browser to find cool and interesting game modes. Join me as we explore the bottom half of the server browser to find weird-ass Gary's Mod game modes that nobody plays. Thank you. Now I'm going to do my best to cover game modes that have a snowball's chance in hell of being meaningful to somebody. Like, for example, am I going to cover Ukraine RP? No, I am not. We're going to stick to things you either played as a small boy or watched somebody else play as a small boy, so I hope at least one of these tickles your remembering bone, so that you can remember it. Like any game ever at the time, Gary's Mod also fell victim to the zombie craze of the early 2000s. Scrolling down the list, you'll find a huge collection of NPC zombie survival type modes, PvP infected type game modes, and like 100 million others. There's one that's very unique though, and it stands out above the rest. A deranged hybrid between an FPS and RTS called Zombie Master.
It's Alex, and then she's got like a dick in between her ass, and it's like squirting everywhere, you know?
But let's not get confused, alright? Zombie Master started life as a Half-Life 2 mod, and is in fact one of the earliest Half-Life 2 mods ever. It's gone through tons of versions, had its source code released, and was enjoyed by thousands in the source community. There was also a community-made sequel to Zombie Master called Zombie Master Reborn that seems to be the version of choice for most people nowadays. This is not Zombie Master Reborn. This is Gmod Zombie Master, which is a janky Gmod version of Zombie Master that's sort of a weird bastardization of both the original and Zombie Master Reborn. Describing this game mode as jank would be an understatement. I actually thought the game mode was broken when I first booted it up. Turns out it's not. The round is restarting. Oh no. What does that mean? Oh shit! There's two teams in Zombie Master. One is a team of humans playing in a traditional first-person shooter mode, and one is an evil asshole playing the game like an RTS controlling a horde of zombies. The team of humans is trying to progress through a linear adventure map type level while the aforementioned evil guy controls a horde of zombies to try and stop them. It almost plays like a weird janky version of Left 4 Dead, only the AI director is just like a guy. My absolute favorite mechanic in this game is the ability to use traps. You can free spawn zombies at like, oh should I just kill two guys with a trap?
You just killed me, that's mean.
Zombie Master actually has some really cool mechanics that I haven't seen used anywhere else in Gmod, and it's a bit of a shame they've been left behind in a now dead game mode. Like just think of all the game modes that could benefit from an excruciatingly long door breaching sequence. So many. With most of the game modes in this video, there's a variety of reasons that they aren't played. The game isn't fun, it requires too much storage space, or the game mode is just straight up broken. But for the most part, Zombie Master doesn't really have any of those problems. The only reason I can imagine it's dead is because of the sheer amount of jank. Being a brand new player to Zombie Master is an utter nightmare, with little to nothing in the way of tutorials, help, or even basic controls being spelled out for you. I can't tell you how many times I thought the game mode was broken, because it was like a lot of times. This fucking sucks. My zombies won't, like, they keep spawning on the ground.
Now you see why I was like having trouble.
Once you figure it out though, Zombie Master is a blast, provided you have the right people to play with. It's honestly one of the most unique experiences I've had in Gary's Mod, and it's just a great time. The maps are pretty great too, and they all have the telltale signs of effort and care put into them. It's weird that no matter how deep into the source community you are, there's still bound to be great looking maps that somehow manage to fly under your radar. Either way, Gary's Mod Zombie Master is a faithful rendition of the original cult classic Zombie Master, and it kinda bums me out to see a game that is often held in such high esteem in the source community be this abandoned as far as Gary's Mod goes. But who knows, maybe Citadel is gonna come out and it's gonna be like 10 times better than this garbage. Whatever. Next up is Fat Kid, and this game is about Fat Kid. I remember watching my older brother play Fat Kid in Halo 3 custom games all the way back in 2008, and there's been iterations in it in every Halo since then, so I can't tell you exactly where Fat Kid started from. What I can tell you though is that Gmod is home to easily the most fun, fully fleshed out version of Fat Kid. For a game that's called fucking Fat Kid, there's a lot more nuance to it than you think. Let me do my best to explain how this game works in a way that doesn't sound like a math problem. So, at the start of a round, one Fat Kid is picked. This guy is slow, can barely jump, and has a stun attack and instant kill. What he lacks in speed though, he makes up for in sheer health. The goal of the other players, called the Skinny Kids, is to progress through the level. As you go forward, you'll find more and more weapons to fight the Fat Kid along the way. The Skinny Kids have to work together using their crowbar to break these obstacles, which function sort of like doors in Call of Duty Zombies, except instead of spending money to buy these doors, you use time. Take too long and you get caught up in the clutches of the Fat Kid and you'll find yourself turned into a skeleton. This puts you on the fat kid's team, arms you with a crowbar, and gives you the sole purpose of helping the fat kid kill every single skinny kid. And that's pretty much it. There is some more advanced nuance to this game mode, like knowing how to b-hop or utilizing map entities to cheat and help the fat kid move faster, but for the most part, you'll get the idea of how to play this game mode in just a couple of rounds. I fucking love this game mode, man. Beyond just the sheer absurdity of a big ass fat guy model chasing people around the map, it manages to capture the feeling of being chased and condense it into one entire game mode. You gotta look over your shoulder every second when you play Fat Kid. As far as why nobody plays this one, that's a little hard to say. You know, this is a Halo game mode, meaning most people will probably just prefer to play it in Halo. And there's also the stipulation that being the fat kid kind of sucks. It's akin to being the citizen in Team Fortress 2 Classic, you know? Your entire job is just to hold down W on your keyboard while you watch everybody else have like a lot of fun. Still though, having to be the fat kid is worth it just for those moments where you overcome all odds and manage to eat the entire enemy team. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that the game mode is you win by eating everybody, and you're a fat kid. While we're on the topic of Gmod game modes to borrow from Halo, there is no way that I could forget Trash Compactor. Again, I couldn't tell you where the hell this comes from, but what I can tell you is that I'm almost certain that it appeared in Halo 3 first. Trash Compactor is mind-numbingly simple. One team is down at the bottom of a trash compactor, and the other team, the trash men, are above them, throwing props down into a big push brush with the end goal of killing those poor souls at the bottom. While this is functionally identical to the Halo version of this game mode, the Gmod version gives people at the bottom a fighting chance by handing them a 357, granting you the ability to kill a trash man if they peek too far over the ledge. I am personally a really big fan of this game mode. While it is remarkably simple and could probably be done very jankily in S&box if you're creative enough, it's still just plain stupid fun without any nuance, annoying loot boxes to open, and 900 workshop add-ons to download. So thank you. Thank you, Trash Compactor, for not being garbage. Now, why does nobody play Trash Compactor? I mean, come on man, look at this shit. This game is genuinely pretty damn fun, but it's like the Mario Party minigame of Gmod. Who would want to play a minigame in Gmod? Melon Bomber. Next up, we're talking about Melon Bomber. Melon Bomber is Bomberman with melons. Melon Bomber is a game mode that most people have probably watched and never played. As far as YouTube goes, thanks to the early days of the Yogscast, it cemented itself as a pretty popular game mode. In practice, I don't really know anybody who's familiar with it, and it seems like those who do know about it have never even played it. Melon Bomber is another silly game mode you don't even have to think too hard about. Ironically, the camera angle is what shows its age. The fact that it's a top-down, fixed camera game is unique and something that's pretty much unheard of in modern Gmod. Melon Bomber is also like 10 megabytes, meaning the delay between finding out about the game mode and actually getting into the game for the first time is pretty much zero. I kinda wish more lightweight game modes like this were more popular in Gmod nowadays. Nobody likes downloading 10 gigabytes of hentai avatar to play one fork of TTT. It sucks. Melon Bomber reminds me of something you'd see in S&box nowadays, which shows you how quickly history repeats itself when it comes to Garry's Mod game modes. Also, Melon Bomber is another example of the Gmod community's well-documented obsession with the melon prop, which just might be the funniest prop in the entire game. See? Look at this shit. This shit is fucking funny. When it's all said and done, Garry's Mod has had countless hours of effort put into it by talented creators over nearly 20 years. Some game modes have spawned entire standalone video games and others have been completely lost to time, but it's important to remember why most people started playing Garry's Mod. To try out new stuff. Gmod is old. It's like very old, but it's somehow still possible to find a game mode you've never heard of nearly every day. With S&box right around the corner, I can only hope that the days of TTT and hundreds of RP servers dominating the server list will be put long behind us. Whether it's in Gmod or it's in S&box, try to branch out, you know, play an old game mode you never heard of, unless it's next spot run. I'm gonna be fucking mad if I catch you playing next spot run, man. That shit sucks. I'm Ratlobber. Bye.
Read from sheets. I am Sofa King.
Sofa King.
We Todd Ed.
We Todd Ed.
Now repeat all very fast, please.
I am Sofa King.
Faster.
I am Sofa King. We Todd Ed.
No, not so fast. Loses meaning.
I am Sofa King. We Todd Ed.
You say funny thing.